Part 1 is done, but what about the second semi-final? Who's benefiting where? Well, you know the drill by now. Roll titles. Good morning, afternoon, evening everybody. I am Jamie Jew and welcome back to a brand new video where it is part 2 of the semi-final running order review. From me, that is, of course. And the first part, in case you need a reminder, is in the annotations over there, where I briefly, but I think gave a fair summary where I think which particular country would be beneficial and not so beneficial from the first semi-final running order made by the EBU. And of course, now we are diving into the second semi-final. And in case you need a reminder, here it is. Opening the show in the second semi-final is Finland. Number 2 is Israel. 3, Serbia. 4, Azerbaijan. 5, Georgia. 6th up, Malta. 7, San Marino. 8, Australia. 9, Cyprus. 10th is Ireland. 11th, North Macedonia. 12th, Estonia. 13th, Romania. 14th, Poland. 15th, Montenegro. 16th, Belgium. 17, Sweden. And rounding off the second semi-final at 18 is Czech Republic. So let's start off with the opener of the night, the rock anthem that I think is probably the best rock anthem we've got in this year's competition by a long chalk. Erasmus will no doubt rock out the whole thing and get the crowd going, and I honestly cannot see, much like Albania in the first semi-final, why they cannot qualify. It's a surefire qualifier as far as I'm concerned. They'll get the crowd going, it's easy peasy, job done, move on. As for number 2, I think this is quite harsh on Israel if you ask me, because it is not a bad little number, but it's not a bad song whatsoever. He performs it very well. I'm sure a lot of people will get behind it, and all that. But like I said, a couple of countries beforehand have qualified from position number 2, but again, not very few and far between, so it will be harsh on Israel if they didn't qualify, but oh well. Number 3 is Serbia with the old washing of the hands, which, if you ask me, has slightly grown on me. Or whatever it is in Latvian? Not Latvian, Latin. In Latin. You get the idea. But yeah, it's not a bad little number to be coming after Israel with all that stuff. I think they would be quietly confident with that one. I don't think the same could be said for Azerbaijan. It's a virtually similar patch for that of Switzerland and Lithuania, or Switzerland after Lithuania as per the first semi-final. Yeah, I just think it's going to be a bit tricky for Azerbaijan to get out of this, but it's Azerbaijan. Don't be surprised if they don't get out of the second semi-final for that matter. But of course, we await to see what absolutely is going to be the most colourful thing on planet Earth from Georgia, as what they keep saying. So, number 5 is neither here nor there. It can be forgettable. Yeah, we'll just wait to see what happens. But put it this way, the EBU didn't really hold out much hope for them putting it at number 5, if you ask me. Number 6 is Malta, which, yeah. Look, I've already mentioned my piece in the song. Just go and check that one out and the annotations there, and I do want you to check it out because I know you're not going to like it, but there you go. But for me, it's not a bad position for number 6. I think they would be quietly confident with that one. I mean, they were with number 6 in the grand final, and they did well with the Jews, so meh. And number 7 is San Marino, the 4th and final rock anthem and the second of the night. Coming up after a sort of, peace anthem and all the rest of it, a very anthemic song from Malta. It's a different transition, that's for sure, so I think that could potentially stand out. But interestingly enough, I don't know if you've noticed, but we've had 2 rock songs in the same position from each of the 2 semi-finals. Bulgaria at 7 and now San Marino at 7. Coincidence? I think not. Australia at number 8, I think they will be quietly confident with that one, given all the powerful stuff, with the mask and everything. I think they'll be quietly confident. I can't see why they shouldn't qualify. I think the same could be said for Cyprus. They will be very happy with that. I know Moldova at number 9, and I did say Portugal would benefit more from 10 compared to 9, but I think this one, compared to the rest of the ones for the second semi-final, is a role reversal. I think they'll be happy with this one, especially, you never know, coming up to like an advert or something. For me, I think Ireland is not a bad song at number 10, but for me, comparison to the others, this is a very, very tough second semi-final that they put them, well, they have been put in for that matter. So starting off the second half of the second semi-final, probably a bit harsh on the EBU, but you never know, they might make the most of it, so we'll see what happens. I think number 11 is a good position for North Macedonia. That will be fairly beneficial coming up after another sort of, you know, like an almost woman anthem coming up after Ireland. So yeah, this will be, I think, sort of two womanish anthems. Well, actually, the second one's more of a sort of a breakup song, isn't it? But you get the idea. With two sort of women after each other, that could be interesting. But then we get a different transition at number 12 to Estonia with the cowboy one. I think it's a very good position for them coming up after Ireland, North Macedonia. They're crafty sods, the EBU. They really are. Estonia would be very happy with this one. Absolutely. But I think they would have been happy regardless anyway. And then we got the old after the cowboy one for Romania. Not a bad position. I can't see why it shouldn't qualify, but, you know. It's funny that position number 13 is meant to be unlucky. Yeah, more often than not, there is luck in Eurovision with that number. Though it's interesting that Romania are squeezed between very good songs, so they might get squeezed out by Estonia beforehand. Of course, Poland afterwards at number 14. See, not a good one for Romania overall in the grand scheme of things, but you never know. I can see Poland definitely qualifying regardless. They're one of the favourites to qualify, you know, up there in the bookies, up there in the community. Would have done well regardless, no matter what number, so there you go. The same can't be said for Montenegro. They've been squeezed out big time, again by two very good songs in between. Poland beforehand, and I think the song itself is kind of a little bit forgettable, Montenegro. Sorry about that. But mind you, they still got Serbia for company, so Serbia might help them out with the old 12 points and stuff, but I think that's a little too late. I think they're going to be finding it tough, especially with Belgium coming up after them at number 16. That's a very good song. Not very well received by the bookies, but I think fairly well by the community. But I think Belgium might find themselves also quite tough, as Sweden, arguably one of the favourites to win the whole thing, is at number 17, second to last on the night. Much in the same way as to their Nordic cousins in the first semi-final, they are second to last up in the second semi-final. But either way, Sweden are qualifying. But they've been given a very beneficial number, it has to be said, to potentially win the second semi-final, you ask me. Much I think in the same way as Norway as this first semi-final. Kind of similarities going on here. The EBU they've been cunning, haven't they? And finally, rounding off the second semi-final is Czech Republic with that upbeat beat of Where Are You Now? That'll get the crowd going. The thing is, though, as I say, last can be quite tricky sometimes, as we've seen in the past, so it will be tough, I think, overall for Czech Republic, but I do hope they kind of qualify, because I do like it. Anyway, that about does it for my brief but fairly detailed thoughts, I think, for the second semi-final running order. But again, never mind what I think. Please do let me know what you think in the comments below. Which one will we be cheering for? Do you think you've got a beneficial number for your particular country? Who are you cheering on? Azerbaijan, San Marino, Romania, Ireland, Finland, Czech Republic, Sweden, whatever. Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, you know the drill by now. Smash the like button as good as hard as you can if you did like this video. Subscribe for more of my Eurovision juice. I got no subscribe as well. And of course, ring the bell to get notified about my latest videos. Otherwise, that'll do that. Can't wait for the Eurovision Song Contest in May. It is less than 50 days away. Oh, it's going to be such a good one. And I can't wait for all of this to kick off again. But in the meantime, we've got to keep talking about different bits and pieces. And I will be making more Eurovision videos in the meantime. I've got 2 more songs to go in terms of, well, actually, 4 more songs to go. I mean, I've done 2 and they've been scheduled, but I've got to still do 2 more songs to review, so yeah, bit of a long drawn out process. Otherwise, check out also the first heat American Song Contest and the annotations, actually also the second, there should be the second heat there as well, so it's a little playlist, so check those out as well. Otherwise, that'll do that. Catch you in the next video. Bye bye everybody, bye bye.